Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Hewitt, and welcome to the Introduction to English 3000 Analysis of Literary Forms. To begin, I want to draw your attention to the course description for the class where I identify the primary objective. What I hope will happen by the end of this course is that you will be able to articulate your method of interpreting literary works. That you can take a primary text, whether it be a short story, a poem, a film, a work of dramatic literature, or a novel, and be able to read it closely and thoroughly, and then articulate what that work means. Now, in order to do that, I believe you need to understand what's been going on over the last 150 to 200 years in the history of literary theory. So this course will encompass an overview of the major methods and frameworks for these different ways of analyzing and interpreting literature. To begin, I want to show you a syllabus from one of those great thinkers of the 20th and 21st centuries. His name is David Foster Wallace. He was teaching at Pomona College, at the Claremont Colleges, before he died in 2008. And this, as you can see on this slide, is a syllabus from one of his classes. I want you to read the basic course spiel that Wallace created for the class so that you can understand what inspired me in my creation of the curriculum for this class as well. Wallace says the goals of this section of E67, the course he's teaching, are to survey certain important forms of modern literature, short stories, novels, poems, and to introduce you to some techniques for achieving a critical appreciation of literary art. Critical appreciation, in his words, means having smart, sophisticated reasons for liking whatever literature you like, and being able to articulate those reasons for other people, especially in writing. Vital for critical appreciation is the ability to interpret a piece of literature, which basically means coming up with a cogent, interesting account of what a piece of lit means, what it's trying to do to or for the reader, what technical choices the author's made in order to achieve the effect she wants, and so on. Like Wallace says, as you can probably anticipate, the whole thing gets very complicated and abstract and hard, which is one reason why entire college departments are devoted to studying and interpreting literature. Accordingly, part of his course's reason for being, and ours as well, is to serve as a kind of boot camp that helps prepare you for more advanced and or specialized lit courses down the line. And in the same way, I hope that our course will do that for you. This course is to be foundational. It's to establish a framework for you as you move on in your coursework, your other classes, your upper division literature courses. As you look at works of literature, you will be influenced by what you've read in this course, and the works that you've read will help you develop your own personal point of view. And I want to share with you about an anecdote, a moment before I created this class that inspired my own way of looking at the content in this course and how I hope you can arrive at a way of synthesizing the ideas, some of the complicated ideas that you're about to engage in reading and being a witness to. My husband and I traveled to Greece and Rome. We began in Athens, which, as you know, is the home of many of our great classical thinkers, theoreticians, literary theorists, really, Aristotle and Plato. And then we ended in Rome. And it was when we were in Rome in the Sistine Chapel that I began to recognize how much I wanted this course to provide for you a kind of a unifying focus for literary analysis. So in the Sistine Chapel, you can see here that there are wall frescoes on either side. The ones that are on the northern wall depict the life of Christ. The ones that are on the southern wall represent the life of Moses. Here's even a smaller image that helps you to see. This is a to-scale model of the Vatican Sistine Chapel. So you can see how overwhelming it is to be in this room. In fact, they ask you to be silent while you are there, so that no one will make a sound and you can just simply use your eyes to really take in all that is around you. So you can just see here that these frescoes on the right-hand side, on display, they represent, like I said, the life of Christ and the life of Moses. Now, when these were created, they were painted, as you can see here, by several of the most famous Florentine painters. So these painters joined together and along with their students, they were commissioned and responsible for all of these frescoes. You can imagine that might be an overwhelming task to have so many people, so many different artists with unique particular points of view to come together and create a body of work that is supposed to be, on some level, unified. There were a few things that enabled these artists and their students to work separately yet create a combined finished product. One of them was that the horizon had to be at the same exact line in every single fresco, and you can see that by just looking at these 4 images here that I've placed side by side. Another is that anytime a human being was depicted in the illustration, that the measurements had to match up with the others. So you can also see that all of the human images in these frescoes match one another as far as scale goes. And then the finished product here, when you start to place, these are 6 side by side here, or 3 on one side, 3 on the other. You can start to see again that although these are works created by different individuals, different artists with specific points of view, there is a unified whole as a result with just a few unifying factors. Now, my hope is in this course that everything you read, whether it be a theoretical text or a literary text, that you are able to focus in and to pick out some of the unifying elements that will assist in your own interpretive method. In a way, this is a formalist approach, and you'll learn that as soon as you start reading about formalism itself. And I believe that formalism has a place in the academy, especially in our educational arena. And so I hope that as you continue to read the works for this class, that you'll start to pick out the pieces that work for you, that work for your own particular perspective, to be able to arrive at your theoretical method, your scholarly voice of the analysis of literary forms.